the trading dust has settled, we'll learn the new clubs for dozens of players. One Mountain Division skater has a big night, and a Central Division team has righted its ship and hopes to be sailing toward the playoffs. Don't fret if everything seems stacked against you. We'll straighten it all out right now on ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to another edition of ECHL Week. This time we come to you from the West Banco Arena in Wheeling, West Virginia, home of the Wheeling Nailers. For the last few weeks in ECHL Week, we've talked about the trading deadline. Now that it's coming on, let's see who went where. The aspect of this season's trading deadline, which sets 2018-19 apart from previous years, is the fact that with a month left in the regular season, practically every team has a realistic shot at qualifying for the Kelly Cup playoffs. We spoke with a few Central Division head coaches leading up to the deadline to hear their thoughts about this unusual scenario.
My first experience kind of learning kind of how other teams and coaches operate, and I've heard from different people how competitive this year has kind of changed the landscape of the trade deadline period.
Some teams have started to ramp up obviously over the last couple of weeks. We brought in Sean Flanagan. You see within our division some trades that were made. So you're also obviously accessing college kids too. We brought in 3 college kids. We're looking for some defensemen.
My first go around in the league, there was a little bit more of teams knowing at this point that they maybe weren't going to make the playoffs or were already mathematically eliminated. And I think it just shows you how deep the league is, that everybody's still got a real good shot.
Last season, some 25 players were moved in the week prior to the deadline. This year, 37 changed teams, and that includes several players who were traded multiple times. Here's the rundown, in no particular order. Utah and Wichita swapped defensemen, with Nolan DeJong heading to the Thunder and veteran Gabriel Verpass, a member of Kelly Cup champion Colorado last season, moving west to the Grizzlies. Another deal involving players heading in both directions had forward Will Merchant moving back to Idaho, where he spent the last 2 years. A couple of first-year players, defenseman Clint Lewis and left wing Zach Franco, were sent to Greenville in return. One of the most significant moves had Rapid City trading its leading scorer, Pierre-Luc Mercier, to Manchester for Dexter Danks and futures. Florida also made a splash, picking up Rapid City captain Riley Weslowski in return for forwards Liam Burton and Jack Riley. The Everblades also added potential depth by acquiring the rights to center Nick Motre, who spent most of the season in the American Hockey League, in exchange for defenseman Brendan Miller. South Carolina obtained blue line help in the form of Chase Harrison, sending forwards Shane Iserman and Christian Horn to Norfolk in return. Cincinnati and Wichita swapped goaltenders. Veteran Ty Rimmer heads to the Cyclones, and Devin Buffalo, joining his 5th team this season, goes to the Thunder. Atlanta sent forward Brandon Truk north to Maine and got defensive help in return in the person of John Forgelli. Forward Taylor Crunk started the day in Fort Wayne and was moved to Orlando before being shipped to Rapid City along with defenseman Miles McGurty in return for Shaquille Marasti. And on trade deadline day, forward Alex Rauter got in the most miles without even getting on an airplane. Manchester sent him to Allen, which sent him to Fort Wayne, which traded him to Rapid City in return for defenseman Josh Elms. Among the players changing teams as either part of a future considerations trade or completing one were forward Dan Levens, who was traded to Brampton, his 3rd team this season and the 6th of his 2-year ECHL career. Another player joining his 3rd team this season is defenseman Miles Liberati, who's on the move to South Carolina. Yet another who will be suiting up for his 3rd team in 2018-19 is forward Tyler Bird, now with the Swamp Rabbits. The Solar Bears also moved rookie forward Corey Koch to Wichita in order to complete an earlier trade, and Orlando obtained the rights to forward Ivan Kozarenkov, currently playing in the AHL, from Worcester. Jacksonville picked up goaltending depth in acquiring Christian Fry from Utah. Seldom used forward Malcolm Gould went from Newfoundland to Allen, and another forward, Chris Crane, was traded from Norfolk to Toledo. Considering the numerous young players who were traded in the week leading up to the deadline, as well as the many future considerations aspects of some of these deals, it'll be quite some time before we know which teams ended up with the upper hand in some of these swaps. But in some cases, based upon how this year's postseason shakes out, we may find out much sooner. The Kelly Cup playoffs begin the week of April 8th.
A player's big performance and one team's big turnaround. Straight ahead, on ECHL Week.
Let me tell you about Pete, who always wanted to play pro hockey. Pete played since he was 3 and begged his mom to let him stay on the ice. Pete practiced and practiced until one day, when he was 37, Pete realized he just wasn't that good, so he threw his skates in the trash. But then again, Pete did switch to Geico, which saved him a bunch of money. So it all worked out.
I'm Ashley Weinzerl, the athletic trainer of the Cincinnati Cyclones, and you're watching ECHL Week.
Time for our regular look at news from all over the ECHL. Greg Betzold of Kansas City became the 5th player this season to record 4 goals in a game. Wednesday night in Allen, within the space of 26.5 minutes in the first 2 periods, he helped the Mavericks amass a 5-0 lead on the way to a 6-0 win. His 4 scores came on 4 shots, a pretty good shooting percentage. Betzold's 21 goals this season are second best on the Mavs.
Hi, I'm Jared Van Warmer of the Kansas City Mavericks, and you're watching ECHL Week.
It's been an interesting year for the Kalamazoo Wings. They got off to a slow start and were at the bottom of the Central Division standings for much of the first half of the season. The Wings used a good run through much of December and another solid streak from mid-January through mid-February, including a 7-game home winning streak, to rise to 3rd place in the division where the team sits now. Longtime coach Nick Bootland and veteran defenseman Kyle Bushy talk about the bumpy road at the start of the season and their positive hopes for what they hope is a spot in the Kelly Cup playoffs and an extended postseason run.
We've learned a lot about our group as individuals on what type of people we have in this room and what type of culture we have in our locker room, and we're excited about it. Some people might look at me and think I'm crazy, but I really am. I'm excited about the group. I'm excited about that feel that we have right now going forward.
I mean, I truly believe we have what it takes to win in this room. We hit an injury bug. We hit some bad luck. I mean, as we know, when you're losing, things seem to compound on themselves, and I do believe in this group, and I believe we have what it takes to win, and I think we'll prove that to people.
Workhorse goaltender Jake Hildebrand and longtime K-Wing defenseman Ben Wilson credit the overall team attitude with playing an important role in the Wings' upward climb in the standings.
You saw it in flashes early in the season when we went on that little hot streak, a few games in a row, and then we did lose a lot of guys. But I think we have all the pieces there, and I think now that the guys are starting to come back, I think we'll be able to get back on that hot streak.
We have a great group of guys away from the rink. We're always hanging out with each other, and so it's good to see we want to be around each other all the time, not just at the rink. So yeah, it's a good deep group, and we really work hard for each other.
A first-round playoff preview? The highlight game is next on ECHL Week.
The ECHL season is here, and ECHL TV is your ticket to all the action. With streaming to your PC, phone, tablet, Apple TV, Chromecast, and Amazon Fire TV, you'll never miss a moment of the action. Plus, you can watch up to 4 games at once on PC with Quad View. Watch live or on demand with both home and away commentary. Single game and season passes are available. Visit ECHL.tv to subscribe.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Hi, I'm Dejan Mingo of the Icemen, and you're watching ECHL Week.
One of the recent additions to the West Bank Arena is the Wheeling Nailers Hall of Fame. 8 men who played a significant role in the development of professional hockey in this area are recognized. Now, our highlight game of the week.
making his 4th appearance against Tulsa this year. Here's Tommy Mealy, who forces the turnover, fires a quick shot, kick save made by Schneider. Rebound loose, Mealy scores! Tommy Mealy found a loose puck on a broken play, jammed it into the open net, and the Oilers are on the board first, 2 minutes and 3 seconds into the game. Thomas, right circle, back to Drapluck again, now Brado. Brado in the middle, it's Drapluck. Top of the right circle, Thomas. Jared Thomas looking down low, finds T-Sink, centers for Pleskach, they score! The captain has his 31st, and it's 2-0, his 11th power play goal of the year. He's now tied for 4th in the league in that category. And the Oilers, it was just a matter of time. It's pushed out to center by Mealy and brought ahead by Samper. Samper on the right wing, chased by David Derzinski and hauled down. Now the battle continues at the half wall. Mealy's got it pinned. It's played up to center again for Darian Derzinski, and now onto the stick of David Derzinski. Here's Raskub, left circle, a chance they score! And the Mavericks are on the board 1 minute and 8 seconds into the second period. It's Darian Derzinski, their leading scorer, by Jared Thomas. Up to the right point, Raskub. Penalty ends to Mealy. He comes out of the box. Darian Derzinski, left circle, tipped on goal, save, Kessler, rebound, another save, third try. They score, but the whistle had blown. It was a quick whistle. It was waved off. The Mavericks are furious. Brought back in by Brado for the Oilers. Deep in the Kansas City zone. Centers knocked out of the air. They score! Ian McNulty batted it out of the air, and it's 3-1 Tulsa.
A great indication that even dogs like ice hockey. That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week from Wheeling, West Virginia. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check us out on all our social media channels. We have a bunch of them. Keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL. See you next time.